Hey, Jim. I guess I don't know how long you're allowed to say Happy New Year, but Happy New Year. I wanted to ask you, you guys have had some obviously injury issues. Can you talk about how difficult it's been just dealing with that? I know you mentioned it on a week to week every once in a while, but just the overall breadth of it, that how it's affected your entire season to this point. And then also, I know you haven't given any clarity on Chris Likes, but I don't know if you've gotten any more clarity since the last game you can share with us. So I appreciate it.
Okay, so we'll start with Chris Likes. He injured his ankle against Stetson on, I think, December the 4th. Hasn't practiced a single moment, so not anticipating him playing tomorrow. Cam McGusty, on the other hand, hurt his hamstring, came back against Clemson and played, I thought, a very nice role. He's very sore and beat up. Whether we'll have him for tomorrow, I'm not sure yet. He will do very little today, hoping that rest is a better way to treat that injury than having him get on the court and strain it again. We know Rodney Miller and Sam Wardenberg are out for the season. So in my staff discussions today, the coaches said, look, we came into this season thinking we had 5 starters returning and a good group of new guys. And now, if you look at it, we have Harlan Beverly moving into the starting lineup. We have Nasir Brooks, who, even though he transferred and sat out last year, he didn't practice. He had knee surgery, so he missed basically the whole year until maybe February or mid-February. We've got 2 freshmen, and one of them, Earl Timberlake, has missed at least 5 weeks. Matt Cross dealt with bursitis for about a week to 10 days. So it's been very, very hard to practice and prepare the way we have throughout my coaching career. You know, one of the things, and I tell our players, mental is to physical is 4:1. The mental part of the game, which is mental preparation, reviewing the opponent. You can watch him on tape, but if you don't go over it on the court under game conditions, it becomes very, very difficult to execute. So the injuries have been a real challenge. We don't have Sam Wardenberg. I don't know if anybody can really realize the value Sam brought to us by his ability to play multiple positions and defend and rebound. So, and now without Rodney Miller, 2 starters from last year out. So we're basically reconstructing our team.
We'll go now to Wyatt Kopelman from the Miami Hurricane. Go ahead, Wyatt.
Coach Elijah Lenny has given you the combined 21 points over the last 2 games. Just how much more of a contributor do you think he can be with all of these injury issues ongoing?
I don't know. I can't imagine where we'd be without him. I think he's been very productive. I think he's a very good defender. I think he's in our rotation, and whether he starts or comes in and off the bench, he's going to earn some quality minutes, and I think he's fits in very well with what we're doing.
Up next, we have Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. Michelle.
Okay. Hey, Coach, can you talk about North Carolina's size? They have several guys over 6'11", 7'1", freshman Dayron Sharp, and you have Garrison Brooks and all those other freshmen who are like 6'11". How does your team try to combat that? You have Nasir Brooks and then Dengak, I guess, but what can you do as a team to try to neutralize that height?
Well, we're not going to grow any taller, and they're not going to shrink. So it's a matter of they have the advantage in size. What we have to do is instead of one guy guarding them, the whole team has to guard those big guys. We got to surround them. We got to try to rebound with them. one of the most, I think, pleasant, I'll say surprises that I've seen so far that I hope it continues is our guards have been really rebounding. You know, Nasir Brooks is our leading rebounder. Then you have Harlan Beverly, Isaiah Wong, Earl Timberlake. Those are three guards that have really been on the glass, and they're going to have to continue to rebound because we just don't have Rodney and Sam in there anymore to make up for, you know, the lack of size. The guards have to do it.
Thank you.
Going down to Cal Freedom, WVUM, Cal.
Coach, we've seen 3 games from Earl Timberlake so far. I wanted to ask how you felt about his progress so far.
You know, for a guy who hasn't practiced, he's playing pretty good. No, he can defend, he can rebounds. He had 8 rebounds the other day. His versatility defensively has really been a great asset. When he came in off the bench against Jacksonville in his very first game, he guarded their leading scorer and did a great job on him. And that guy was a 4-man. Right? And then we went to Virginia Tech, and he came in off the bench, and first he guarded the 3, then he guarded the 2, then he guarded the 4. We started him in the second half because Mutz had such a great hold on one second. I forgot to shut off my phone. He had such Mutz had such a great first half that we started Earl on him in the second half. And then against Clemson, Amir Sims got off to such a great start, and he's their 5-man. We brought Earl in to guard him, and he did a heck of a job on him. So, you know, he's adding a lot, and it's only a portion of what he's capable of doing when he's 100%. I don't know if we're going to see 100% from Earl at any time this season because he's missed so much of practice and he's had so many different injuries to deal with.
Up next, we have Steve Wine from the Associated Press. Steve, go ahead.
Jim, how well has the team collectively been able to make up for Chris's absence? I know that's a hard person to replace.
You know, you have to recognize the role that Chris likes and Cam McGusty play. There are 2 leading scorers from last season, double-figure scorers. Chris, a first-team all-conference preseason selection. And then we're without them. And we're without them for a long period of time. It's not like they missed a game or even 2, missed a month. I mean, Chris is out basically the whole month of December and now January. Cam missed, I forget how many games he's missed, like 4 games. But I would say it's given Harlan Beverly a real opportunity to play an absolute ton of minutes and a major role. And if you look at Harlan's numbers, I didn't look at it today, but going into the Clemson game, he was in the top 10 in the league in assists and steals. So, you know, he's doing a good job in that role, but he's not the 3-point shooter. Either one of those guys are. And one of the things that we were missing is the ability to make a bunch of threes. I was very, very happy when we made 10 threes against Virginia Tech, but we didn't get to the foul line in that game. No, it was the Clemson game. We didn't get one of those games. We didn't get to the foul line. I can't remember now. We've had so much going on, but yeah, it would be very, very nice to have Chris back and healthy and playing well. And I'm very, very hopeful that Cam can give us some quality minutes like he did on Saturday tomorrow night. Because again, without him, our offense is reduced to hoping that Matt Cross can lead us in 3-point shooting. It's asking a lot of him. He's going to have to match up with Armando Bacot. That guy is like 6'10", 250 pounds. And that's, you know, a mere 6'7", and, you know, maybe 220. Oh, it's a very hard matchup for us.
We'll go now to Chris Stock from Inside the U. Chris?
Yeah, Coach. North Carolina recently have been switching up their starting lineup. I'm just curious what kind of challenge that is facing a team that's, still trying to work out their rotation at this point when you're getting ready to face them.
Yeah. When you're good enough to take the preseason player of the year and bring them off the bench, I wouldn't worry too much about their rotation. I think they're just a very, very talented team. But it's such an unusual year. Your preparation so different than in years past. I don't know how much they've missed because of COVID or injuries, but I know the challenges we faced, and I'm imagining that almost every team in our league has had those same challenges, whether it be with injuries or sickness.
Got time for two more. We'll go to David Furonis and then Michelle Kaufman. David, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, in a couple of the recent losses and even the win against Purdue, you had to come from behind from large early deficits. Just wondering if you notice a common thread and something that you can do better early in games.
Yeah, the common thread is we start to dig ourselves a hole very early in the game. At Clemson the other day, or with Clemson the other day, it was 19-9. Purdue, we couldn't score. For us, with the roster as short as it is, everybody's got to play well right from the very beginning to really give us the best chance. And the teams we're playing are, first of all, very deep. Virginia Tech was playing, 10, 11 guys. Clemson playing 10, 11 guys. Carolina plays 10 or 11 guys. One of our hopes is that we can get off to a better start and play from out in front one of these nights. But, facing Carolina is our total focus now, and hopefully we can, play well.
Our last question from Coach L comes from Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. Michelle?
Okay. I'm going to try to sneak in two. One of them is, do you have any idea on Chris Likes? Like, what are the doctors saying, or the trainers? Like, is there an estimate of when he may be able to return to practice or anything? And then the second one is, with this year being so strange that there are no fans, you're playing in an empty building every time. Can you just talk about the difference? Normally when you're preparing for North Carolina, it's a big event. You're expecting a full house. Everybody's fired up. There's a certain buzz around the game. Do you feel like this year, because of COVID, all the games kind of blend together and it doesn't have that big event feel, other than the fact that Dick Vitale is calling the game and it's on ESPN? So that means it's a big game, but all the other ancillary things are missing. How is that different for you as you prepare, or does it make a difference? I don't know.
Well, we're not going to prepare differently. I think everybody is aware that they're not going to be fans in the arena, at least for a while. Our players have to prepare to play a basketball game. One of the interesting things that has developed over the last several decades is how important these games are, how many are being televised, how many people really follow college basketball religiously. People are fanatical about their own teams, about the NCAA tournament. I remember it's about 24, 25 years ago, the Final Four was played at a basketball arena. Now it's played in a football stadium. We've gone from 20,000 fans at a game to 75,000 fans at a game. So it is very, very different. Not having a sellout crowd, the excitement is not there, but everybody's still tuned in on TV, and we're still playing for the chance to go to a postseason and compete for a national championship, compete for a league championship. So for coaches and players, every game is hugely important. The tough part is after the game, when you've lost, like we have the last couple of games, your emotions are down. when you get to your next game, if there's a packed house, all of a sudden you can get picked up and get psyched up and re-energized very, very quickly. With no one in the arena, that's far more challenging for the players. So I'm very, very hopeful our players will realize the importance of this game. We're already 0-3 in conference play. I don't think we've ever been 0-3, but I'm pretty sure we've never been over 0-4 since I've been here. So, we'd like to get a win under our belt.
All right. Thank you, Coach. We'll have sophomore guard Harlan Beverly in shortly.
Yeah. Hey, one thing I didn't say, we have no idea about Chris Likes, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was my other, no idea. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.